going in lane 6. One of the greatest para swimmers of all time. The great Benoit Huot, 32-year-old, 19-time Paralympic medalist, 9-time Paralympic champion, an all-round good guy. Gold medalist in this event as far back as 2004. But new kid on the block, so to speak, 27, used to be in contention for the Ukrainian Olympic team, and now swimming Paralympic events for Ukraine. 3 golds, 2 silvers and a bronze. Dubrov goes in 3, going in lane 5 is Bas Ducken of the Netherlands, a 17-year-old multi-medalist at youth level and indeed at national level in open water swimming. He's got the power, he's got the strength, he's got the endurance. But the man who goes in lane 4, Maxim Kripak, the most decorated swimmer at Rio 2016 is Maxim Kripak. 4 gold medals, 2 silvers in just 6 events. The Paralympic record held by Ian Silverman, the world record still held by Ian Silverman, a 4:03.57. Now Maxim Kripak is swimming 4:05s. We'll fancy at least perhaps a Paralympic record, if not a world record in this race. But what Benoit Huot needs to do is try to beat 2 of the 4 most decorated swimmers at Rio 2016 and somebody who'll be spurred on by the home faithful. Nervous moments poolside for many. Andre Brazil gets up on the starters blocks. He goes in lane 1. Brazil, Harrison Murray, Dubrov, Kripak, Ducken, Huot, Vanzenko and Crothers representing Australia, the 2nd Australian in the pool. 3 Ukrainians, a Brazilian, a Canadian and a Dutchman. Out in lane 1, Andre Brazil gets off to an inspired start, but in the pool it is Kripak showing the speed alongside his compatriot Dubrov. Kripak goes in 3, Dubrov goes in 4. Have they gone out just a little too hard here? Harrison Murray, who likes to chase early on, is going out in a rather more controlled and subdued fashion, which is the smarter approach, but he's still going out relatively fast between Brazil, who looks to be chasing it, and Dubrov and Kripak, who are first to touch at the wall in that order. Dubrov first, 0.05 of a second behind him is Kripak on the turn, and already the Ukrainians looking good, looking well ahead of any other swimmer in the pool now, bar maybe Brazil, but they look like they're swimming within themselves. They do not look like they're chasing it out hard. They do not like they're going to burn themselves out.
Well, that first 50 was 26.8 seconds. That gives you an idea of why this pair is in front, because they were absolutely firing that first 50 and have tried to open up just a slender advantage, about a body length on the rest of the field. The 2 Ukrainians very much swimming in unison at the moment and looking extremely strong.
Well, Kripak at the moment is only 0.04 of a second ahead of Dubrov, and Dubrov is possibly better on the turns and sometimes faster in the pool. It's difficult to judge at any given time. They do have bursts of energy, both these swimmers. Dubrov is probably the fastest of the finishers, but indeed Kripak has got some incredible abilities to break into a lead. They are now well in front. Benoit Huot of Canada is making a charge from lane 6, while Andre Brazil is hanging on in lane 1, trying to fight for that bronze medal at the moment, because the gold and silver, if they go at this rate, are going to be to Ukraine. We don't know in what order, because Dubrov and Kripak are basically swimming side by side as if this were a training swim. They seem to be in a league of their own right now.
They do. The last 2 50s have been between the 30 and 31 second mark, so they're keeping a very, very quick pace, it must be said. So the Canadian moving well into the bronze medal position, but don't forget about Andre Brazil, and don't forget that he has the Brazilian crowd behind him, because they're going to be wheeling him home. He's swimming in lane 1, right next to the grandstand, and they will be cheering. Expect that to build throughout the race. But you're right, look at this, well, clinical display from the 2 Ukrainians swimming together, it seems.
Well, it is very impressive at the moment. They look like they're in a training swim at the moment, in a very fast pace here. Maxim Kripak and Denis Dubrov of Ukraine side by side. Benoit Huot is going into 3rd place now, well ahead of Andre Brazil, and that's sort of muted the crowd at the Olympic Aquatic Stadium, but Bas Tuckett is trying to go with Benoit Huot. Gold medalist as far back as 2004 in this event, silver in 2012 is Huot, and a man who has got such an incredible career behind him already. A man who has done so much more than simply para-swimming. Started at Benoit Huot Foundation back in 2009. He does so much to help other para-athletes, not just in sporting spheres, but in academic spheres as well. And a man who only a handful of years ago completed his degree in marketing, communications and administration in Quebec. And a man as well who's done a great deal for African para-athletes. He's traveled to the continent on numerous occasions. Right now, though, they're in a league of their own. Swimming a 3:29.89, Kripak touched ahead of Dubrov at the 350 split by 3/100ths of a second. And let me tell you how fast this is. Look at that. They are so far ahead of world record pace, it is not even funny. It is going to be a world record by a most substantial margin. Kripak, as if this were a training swim and he had everything left in the tank, touches in a mammoth world record time. 3:57.71 ahead of Dubrov, and Benoit Huot with an historic 20th Paralympic Games medal. That was out of this world. Maxim Kripak